Hi, I'm going to show you how to save an image of a script from an existing project and then use it as a guide for a new Scratch project. So the first thing that you have to do is open a Scratch project that has a script that you want to use. I've used my landslides buries script. Then you can right-click on the script and click Save the script, and then you can give it a name and save it. And then of course you have to go and find it on your hard drive. But I noticed that mine was saved in my documents folder, so I go there, I find it, I open it up, and then I can push it over to the side and use it as I create a new Scratch project. So I do a new file for a new Scratch project, and I get rid of the default sprite, and I create my own sprite. I know that I want to create the word bury, and I know that I want that word to be a chalk duster font, and I want it to be huge, and the black text is fine. So I position the characters to be where I want it to be, and I type bury. I need another sprite. This time I need the word landslides. So again, I go in and I pick my font. I type the word. I'd like to adjust the color. I don't want this color brown. I can make some fine-tuning adjustments by clicking the spectrum, and then I pick OK, and I position landslides where I want it to be. I can see the X and Y location, but I can also see the X and Y location in the script that I saved. It's right over, it's over there. It says -125 and 125 for my XY. So now it's time to bring in some controls. The first control will be when it's clicked. So when something is clicked, something will happen. And then I know that I need to position the word landslides. Bury doesn't have a script under it because it just sits there, but landslides does. I know that I want landslides to tilt, and I know that I want landslides to move over and bury the word bury. So it's going to have to change with time, and it's going to have to move. I'm going to have to move the X and the Y, but each time I click, I need it to start out from the initial position, so I have to use the position to 90 degrees to begin this. And I'll need to use a loop in order for it to move across the page. I don't want a forever loop. I just want a repeat loop that will repeat a specific number of times. I know I need it to move down diagonally. That means it has to increase with the Y has to change and the X has to change. So I can experiment with how much I want the X and the Y to change. Well, that's not working because that's pushing my word right off the stage. Why is that happening? That's happening because the Y value is positive. A positive Y will push it up. I needed to change the y value to a negative value, and that will pull it down. Okay, I notice it's spinning a little bit too much for what I had in mind, so I'm going to have it spin 5 times instead of 15. Okay, that's better, but it's still spinning a little bit too much. I don't want it to be quite so sideways, so I'll drop that down to 0.5 times. Yes, that's about how much I want it to spin. But it's only halfway down to the word, so I'm going to have it repeat. I'll double how many times it repeats. So we'll go from 10 to 20. That's much better. Now the problem is it needs to be bigger. So I will change its looks. And I take a size, change size by, and then of course I'll type in some values. But let's see what happens. Oh, 10 is way too big. So let's try another value. It's not changing because I need to reset the value when I click, when I start it moving. So I have to go over and get a set the value command. So I set the value to 100% at the beginning. That's good. Now I just have to figure out how big I want it to be when it's stepping through. Each time it steps, now it will increase by 5. That looks okay. I probably want it a little bit bigger, but I also need to move that X. I need to reduce the X so that I pull it over a little bit more to the left. Okay, that's better. And it looks like I can definitely make it bigger now. So, and I need to move it over a little bit more to the right. That's getting there. That looks like if I just change the size, this might be okay. So 6, and then let's see, 7. Okay. How about 8? Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'll just move it over a little bit further to the right. Yeah, that's kind of where I want it. So now I just have to adjust the numbers to make it land there. Okay, that looks good.